Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, Facebook family.
Evening.
Good.
We said morning.
Good morning. Did I say good morning? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello. Good evening, Facebook family. Hope you guys are out there. Another, I think this is 10. Is this our 10th one? So this is Facebook Live Elevate number 10. God, this is moving fast. I can't believe we're at 10 already, but if you're out there, please put a 1 up. Post a 1 so I can know who's out there. Hope you guys had a great Wednesday. I know we're coming to the home stretch of Wednesday, heading into Thursday. But what we do is one of our new traditions is because we had so much clamor and so many people talking and discussing it about the jokes. We're going to go ahead and give you a few more to lighten your day or brighten your day. All right. So while we're waiting for people to come on, please post 1 when you're on, so we'll know that you're out there and we can say hello to you. But while we're waiting, we're gonna a few little humorous jokes here. What do you get when you cross a bear with a skunk? What do you get when you cross a bear with a skunk? It's hard for me not to laugh while I tell these jokes. It's hard because I see the answer. I see the answer. What do you get when you cross a bear with a skunk? Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh. You know that's funny. She didn't even. Oh, White didn't even move. She didn't even move. Why did the rooster cross the road? Why did the rooster cross the road? It was the chicken's day off. Everybody gets a day off. It was the chicken's day off. Kai, I feel like putting you on camera. Kai's in the background talking about it's the worst joke ever. That's not bad. I thought it was funny. How do you make a chicken salad wrap? How do you make a chicken salad wrap? This is my favorite one of the. Shar, any ideas?
Chicken and salad wrap?
How do you make a chicken salad wrap?
Chop something.
You got to add some fresh beets. You get How do you make a chicken salad wrap? You get it? You got to add some fresh. You like beets, right?
Yeah.
You got to add some fresh beets. All right. All right. All right. All right. We'll just make this the last one because I don't know if we're doing too well today. We're going to make this the last one. Why are fish lousy at volleyball? Why are fish lousy at volleyball? Shar?
Fish volleyball, no.
They run away from the net.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we might just all right, we're gonna keep it moving. Hello everybody. Who we got on so far? Did we post some 1s? Did we get any 1s, Shar? I was laughing at the jokes. I didn't look at the screen.
I'm sharing the video on my page.
All right, so hello everybody. This is September 15th, the 10th edition of Facebook Live Elevate. We always thank you for joining us, and I know people will come on as we go, but I just wanted to share a few humorous jokes to lighten your day and to brighten your day. I want to say thank you for joining us. Most of you know me, but if you don't, I'm Curtis Carr. I'm the founder of E.L.E.V.A.T.E. I've been in leadership for over 30 years, in a training capacity for over 15. My wife is also a partner in this business, and she's been she is a business analyst and a project manager. She's been in that position for over 10 years. She also runs her own business, and she's been doing that for over 8 years. So definitely some experience in the room, and our leadership team is me and my wife. So definitely want to elevate. I always give the acronym what Elevate stands for. Elevate. The tagline is equipping leaders of tomorrow. The E is expectation, then leadership, ethics, vision, attitude, temperaments, and effectiveness. So That's what Elevate stands for, and that's what we're about. I wanted to give a shout out to Deborah Banks. My aunt called me and said, hey, your cousin has been watching in Phoenix. Make sure you let her know, because we have not seen it. We try to read every post, but I want to thank you because I know that there's a lot of things you can be doing, so I appreciate you coming on. I think I met you once. But Deborah, thank you for coming on. And I have a good friend that lives in Phoenix, so now I got a reason to come out there to also visit you and your family. I also want to shout out to my sister-in-law. I can't believe I missed this. So my sister-in-law, Sharon Mosley, I just call her sis, and she just called me bro. But she is, I have not seen her on, but I was told that she's been on. So I really appreciate you coming on. Sharon's one of those people that if you don't like Sharon, something's wrong with you. Everybody likes Sharon. So dynamic personality, fun to be around. I hate that you know what I'm talking about, Sharon. We came all the way down there and couldn't see you. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate you coming on. So a couple of housekeeping things, kind of let you know what Elevate is all about. Can we get some ones? Can some people? I know Mother Brenda's on there because she always is. Mother Brenda, can you type something up, get the ball rolling? I see Miss Karen on. I think it's time to redo these glasses because I can't see everything. They have these little pictures at the very top. But if we can post some, let's see if I can hit this button here and it'll show me anything. Nope. All right. So definitely want to just kind of tell you what we're about. We do a live once a week, 7 o'clock on Wednesdays. We're a consulting agency. And who are we here for? Well, we're for 4 different groups, basically. We're for the individual that's interested in personal development. We have private coachings and platinum private coachings. The platinum is over a 90-day period with weekly meetings. The regular coaching, the private coaching, is a 30-day period. And the platinum is for the people looking for fast-paced, aggressive sessions. It's also for the group that has been labeled as those in extreme jobs. Now, I break down what extreme jobs are about 2 or 3 Facebook Lives ago. So if you're interested, you can go back and it'll tell you what about extreme jobs. Elevate also consults for new and existing leaders, those looking to get tools, and those that are interested in just trying to really raise their income, because every company needs leaders. So I'm telling you, once you delve into that area and you become an expert in that area, get better and better, I'm telling you, you will increase your value, and they're willing to pay for it. I think it was Rockefeller back in the day. He said he'll pay more for a person who has the ability to deal with people than any other ability under the sun. So number 3, and this is the area we're going to focus on today, is the business owner. And I've been focused on the business owner a couple of weeks now. But for the business owner looking to increase sales and market share, the biggest challenge of any business owner is pretty simple. It's going to be the biggest challenge is to create an owner independent business. So owner independent. So basically, where they don't have to do everything, they don't have to be so involved, that the business can live and thrive and grow without their constant 24-hour attention. So that's the biggest challenge for businesses. But basically, there's 3 stages in growing a business. First is the startup stage. So you start up, you're basically creating a business plan, and you're making sure this business is viable, right? Then you kind of move into stage 2, which is owner reliant. It's owner reliant stage. In this owner reliant stage, there's actually 3 stages in the owner reliant stage. And it's basically the first stage is early stage. So in this second stage, which is the owner reliant stage, there's 3 stages. So the first one is early stage. And that's when you're trying to secure clients. You're trying to make sure you stay profitable. Then the middle stage comes, and that's when you're building your core. You're trying to escape the self-employment trap, where you're kind of stuck, where you created a job instead of creating a business. And then the advanced stage, which is the last stage of the second level, which is when you become more system reliant. You've established your management team. And then that third level is what we talked about, which is the biggest challenge, which is becoming an owner independent business. And that's when basically you're either going to sell it, or you're going to scale it, or you're going to own it and just own it passively. You know, where you sit back, you kind of collect the checks, you check in, but at that time, that thing is running on its own, and you just making sure it keeps going forward. So that's the group that we're highlighting this week. The fourth group we talk about is for leaders or employers that are looking for somebody to come in. And actually, when we come in, we do seminars, or we'll come in and we'll do the actual Elevate program with their team, with their leadership team, or people that they see as potential leaders. So how do we do it? We start off by getting to know you. We have a questionnaire and we have assessments. I'm not getting any feedback here on here. I'm not getting anything. I usually has names coming up. I'm not getting anything. I don't know if I did something wrong. So just letting you know, guys, if I'm not reading your comments, please forgive me. I'm not seeing anything. And this is the first time I've not seen anything. So I see the faces of people up here, kind of. I see my parents. So hi, Mom and Dad. And I see Mother Brenda. I see Karen. And I can't tell. The icons are so small. But how do we do it? We start off by getting to know you, questionnaires and assessments. We have a free strategy session. We also have a 30-day strategy session, which we talked about before, and a 90-day strategy session. We also have an ebook out. And the ebook covers topics in leadership, overcoming challenges, and having the proper perspective. So the leadership book is actually a quote book. I personally love quotes. My wife knows this. She probably gets tired of me telling her a quote. But those are, she says she doesn't. That's why she's great. Because she knows she do. She knows she do. She knows she get tired of hearing the quote. But anyway, basically we look at quotes and get quotes in those areas of this book. And the plan is every 2 years or so, maybe 3, come out with quotes in different areas and just give feedback. We have basically commentary that we provide in the book. So if everybody can you shout out how you're feeling today in one word? And Shar, you gotta help me. So we're hoping that you can shout out how you're feeling today in one word. I would say I feel great and challenged. It was one of those days, so I feel great and challenged. And I'm gonna save all my details about today and just tell you I feel great, but I am challenged. Got some things going on, so I want to see how you guys are feeling. If you can, I just said do it in one word and I did it in 2. So I guess we could do it in 1 or 2 words. I told you I'm great and challenged. That's actually 3 words. So we can do it in 1, 2, or 3 words. Yeah. Right? So are we getting any feedback here?
Stephanie says productive.
Aunt Stephanie said productive. She's always productive. So
My mom says awesome.
Awesome?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mother Brenda said awesome. What else we got going on out there?
Ann says hopeful.
Ann says hopeful. Good, good, good. I know we had a storm out here in Houston.
Aunt Sister says she requests to be in the live video.
She requests to be in the live video? I don't know. You coming down to Houston? You coming down to Asia? We'll put you on. So, one of the things that we do, we really depend on the feedback. And I feel a little blind because, you do this for 10 weeks and you got these comments popping up on the screen. You kind of get used to it. It's kind of like you get attached to the comments. You're like, oh, so-and-so said this. And, I'm afraid to do anything because I'm afraid it's going to disappear. And then we really got problems. So I'm like one of the least, my skill level is not that great with electronics. And they make fun of me a lot about this, people I know. But anyway, the way we conduct our Facebook Lives is that we depend on your comments and we end promptly at 7:30. So my plan is to read every comment. And right now, because I don't see them, she's going to tell me a lot of the comments. So definitely encourage you to like and share. I wanted to give props to those that like and share. I saw a like and share by Josh Michael. And I really appreciate that. I told Josh we're going to make it down there in March. And we've already set our budget. I'm kind of anal about stuff like this, but we already set our vacation budget. But we're gonna do something because it's kind of hard to pass up going down there to see you. So we're gonna go down there and see you. And remember, we're kind of square, so I don't know what you do in your personal time. But anyway, oh, my wife, my wife said I'm square. I think when you beat Josh, we're gonna find out who's square and who's not square. Let's put it that way. So anyway. Today we're going to discuss the four horsemen of the apocalypse. This is a game changer. This is a game changer. The four horsemen of apocalypse is basically a term that was coined by Dr. Gottman. He did a 20-year scientific observation on marriages. So when you hear this, we're not talking about marriages. We're really talking about relationships. But he did a 20-year scientific observation on marriages, and he basically said there's four horsemen that come in, and they're disastrous in the way if you conduct yourself. So basically, the four horsemen of the apocalypse is four disastrous ways of interacting with people that sabotage your attempts to communicate with them. So you always hear people, a lot of times you see these shows and people are talking about what's the most important thing? They say communication, communication. Well, this is four disastrous ways that sabotage the way you interact with people and your attempts to communicate with them. So the four horsemen of the apocalypse is powerful, especially when it's not just an opinion. A lot of guys, they do a lot of counseling sessions, and they basically gather a bunch of information and they write books about it. This guy didn't do that. He did a 20-year observation, scientific observation, and the book is still hot. I think it was written in 1994, I believe. But basically, that's how he coined the phrase. And I'll tell you, this is powerful. It was a game changer for me when I saw it, and I realized through my experience, it was like, man, this is not just for marital relationships. This is for just people in general. This is for people, period. So, apocalypse is one of my favorite words, even though it's a doom and gloom word. I just like the way it sounds, apocalypse. When you think of apocalypse, it's just, you think of bombs and explosions and just things happening, and it's just exciting. It's not boring. It's just apocalypse. Now, to coin something that these ways of communicating, these four ways of communicating are apocalyptic is a powerful, powerful statement. So apocalypse really means revelations. And I know we got some Bible people out there. Really, in the Greek, is really the apocalypse of John, if you look at it in the Greek. But it means revelation, that which is uncovered. Comes from a Greek word which literally means just to pull the lid off of something. It just means to pull the lid off of something. And it's always involving destruction and damage, and at a catastrophic scale. We're not talking about anything little when we talk about apocalyptic. And I'm trying to really build this thing so you can understand how important and how dynamic these four horsemen are when we go through each one of them. All right. So, the images, in my mind, when I think apocalyptic, it's just doom and gloom. It's doom and gloom. So in order from least to greatest, and I'm going to list them first because my wife's over there typing, and that way we can at least get them out there, because a lot of times I don't have time to repeat. So this is probably the best way to do it. From least to greatest, and you got to remember, they come in a progression. The first one that comes in is criticism. The first horseman of the apocalypse in interacting in a disastrous way, in interacting with people, is criticism. The second one is contempt. The third one is defensiveness. And the fourth one is stonewalling. So we have criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. Those are the four horsemen. Those are the apocalyptic horsemen that are stonewalling. Stonewalling, one word, stonewalling. So remember, it's a progression. So it starts off with one. And then once that one comes in and sits there a while, it opens the door for the second one. And then once contempt is there for a while, it grows and grows and grows. And next thing you know, you got two people that have contempt for each other. And then people start getting defensive. Then after that defensiveness comes, the next thing you know, they stonewall. And I'll go into what stonewalling is a little later. So criticism. Let's start off with criticism, because this is the one that, it's kind of, this is, everybody criticizes, right? So criticism is attacking someone's personality or character rather than a specific behavior. So it's commonplace now, especially when you're dealing with human interaction, that you're supposed to address the behavior, not criticize the person's character. So usually this criticism is attached with blame. It's hard to completely avoid criticizing every now and then. Criticizing is just basically a short hop from complaining, but it's not the same, right? So complaining is actually one of the healthiest activities that can occur, because expressing your anger or disagreement, airing a complaint, is better than holding it in. So I know in the corporate world, they'll have air out sessions. They'll say, hey, let's clear the air. And, it's probably the quietest, because somebody says something and it's supposed to stay in the room, and you're supposed to just basically work that thing out so you can have a productive meeting. So expressing a complaint is actually healthy. To oversimplify this, basically, a complaint begins with I. I feel this way. I believe this. I thought you were doing this. It begins with I. A criticism starts with you. You are this. You are that. You are lazy. You're not productive. You don't do anything. You don't work. Your attitude is bad. Just you. So to oversimplify it, that's how you can kind of tell. Now, of course, we can stay on criticism for 3 hours, but because we have 30 minutes and we will get you out timely, we're going to move on to the next one. But that is the first horse. The first horseman of the apocalypse is criticism. So here we are talking about developing teams. We're talking about interpersonal relationships, how to conduct yourself out there with your family and your friends. Just know that criticism is the first horseman. All right. Number 2 is contempt. And what really separates contempt from criticism is the intention to insult. You're not trying to hide it. You're like, hey, I got contempt for you, and I'm going to let you know. So you're really trying to psychologically abuse somebody. When you're full of contempt, when you're really full of it, it's really hard to remember anything good about the person that you have contempt for. You can't remember anything. You're like, man, they just sorry, period. Somebody said, well, didn't you have some good times with that guy or that friend? Like, no, I don't remember anything good, because you're just full of contempt. So when you're full of contempt, it's hard to remember any single positive quality or act of that individual. Common signs of contempt. Common signs. Contempt, we can stay on for a couple hours, especially if you live long enough. I think all of us have had some contempt for some people. And some people probably have some contempt for us. I know I got it both ways. I got some people that got some contempt for me, and there's some contempt out there for them that just pray for me. So anyway, common signs of contempt. Insults and name calling. Hostile humor. That humor that, they try to be funny, but it's not really funny. Mockery and body language. You might get the eye roll, or the person will look the other way, or maybe they're picking at their clothes while you're telling them how you feel, and they're basically letting you know that I don't care by their body language. So that's common signs of contempt. So then that's the second horseman. So you start off with criticism, and that criticism over time built contempt. And then that contempt over time builds defensiveness, because if somebody feels attacked, what are they going to do? They're going to defend themselves, right? So defensiveness, when either party shows contempt, it makes matters worse when you get defensive, because we're really, it's just like a snowball getting bigger and bigger. This problem is growing, and it's growing fast, right? So now both parties feel victimized by the other, and neither one is willing to take responsibility for setting things right. So defensiveness, all these can be stopped, but somebody has to take ownership and say, you know what, even if it ain't my fault, I'm going to stop this madness, because I realize that we're cascading. This relationship is cascading. And whether it is an interpersonal relationship with a friend or a loved one or somebody you work with, somebody has to take ownership and say, you know what, we're going to set this right, by lodging a complaint. Say, I feel this way. I might not be right. How do you feel? Once this stuff is aired out, usually you can kind of roll back some of these horsemen and put them back in the stable. All right. Common signs of defensiveness. Denying responsibility. It ain't me, it's you. No, it ain't got nothing to do with me. I didn't make that promise. I didn't make that commitment. I don't know what you're talking about. Denying responsibility. Making excuses. Well, it was because of this. I tried, but you didn't do this. So, making excuses. Cross-complaining. So you complain to me about something, and I complain to you about something completely else. I just, you say, hey, I don't like the way you came home. You had an attitude. And I say, hey, your car is always dirty. I'm tired of cleaning your car. What's that got? What's that got to do with anything, right? Cross-complaining. Yes butting. Yes butting is like, the person makes a complaint and you say yes, but, so yes butting. The rubber man or the rubber woman, another sign. That means that anything I say, I'll say it back to you. Well, you're impatient and angry. Well, you're impatient and angry. You always have an attitude. So that would be the rubber man or the rubber woman. And then just repeating yourself over and over again is like one of the signs too. You just complain, or you just keep criticizing, you just keep repeating yourself. Those are common signs of defensiveness. So number 3, horsemen. Here we are. We're rolling along. Person comes in, starts off with criticism. Next thing you know, contempt develops. Next thing you know, defensiveness develops. And then the last one is called stonewalling. And stonewalling is when you're talking to that individual and they look like a stone wall. They have completely withdrawn. They are totally disconnected. It's called stonewalling. And these are the 4 signs where you can tell where they say, hey, you're headed for a terrible end. Maybe you don't get divorced if you're married. Maybe the friendship, maybe you work together all the time and just don't talk to each other. But it ain't no growth taking place. There's no growth taking place. And remember, we have a session coming up, grow or die. So you don't want to have those kind of toxic relationships in the workplace, in the family, or with friends. So stonewalling, habitual withdrawal. And then some people, it'll happen sometime, but if it's habitual where that person just ain't hearing you, you can tell they're disconnected. Ain't really nothing you can say. There's no emotion when you say something. You might say something to prod them, to irritate them, but they just they're numb. They're numb. They're through with you. That's stonewalling. And those 4 horsemen are powerful. And then once you understand that it all starts with criticism, you really you really stay away from criticism. Once you understand, you're like, hey, I'm not even gonna go there because this thing gets out of control quick. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna lodge my complaint. If I see something I don't like, I'm gonna try to keep it together emotionally. But I don't want to be a person that just starts telling somebody you're this, you're that, and then next thing you know, it's not a fruitful conversation. So if you have any comments, questions about the 4 horsemen, you got anything over there? So I see some thumbs up. I see some other little icons coming up. This one here for me, from a personal perspective, was a game changer for me because I never even, I never sat back and thought about, we say words are powerful, but I'm not sure how much we really realize how powerful words are. There's life and power. They say it's life and power in the tongue. It really is. I mean, think about how you felt when your first significant other told you, I love you. Think about how you felt when that other significant other said, I hate you. They didn't even have to hit you. You felt like you were hit. Words have so much power, and it makes so much sense when this person did this 20-year study, scientific observation, to see that is basically the words and what was said, and at the end, what is not even said, the stonewalling, that tears down these relationships. So,
read Anne's comments.
Okay, Anne has some comments. All right. Come on with it, Anne. Come on with it.
When there is a difference, there is no hope of salvaging the relationship. When there is still fighting, there is a chance.
Right. So you're talking about when there's, what did you say? When there is
indifference.
Indifference, yeah. So kind of like the stonewalling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's dead because one person's they've given up.
If you're still communicating, even if it's fighting, there's still a chance.
Exactly. And it's funny because, one of the things it talks about in defensiveness, it talks about both parties feel victimized. And whenever you feel like a victim, it's not good. And at some point, I don't remember where I read it, but somebody said, what's the opposite of a victim? And the opposite of a victim, they said, was a creator. Because the victim is sitting there kind of steering in that mess. But the creator is like, hey, we got to figure out a way to move forward. So really the opposite of a victim is a creator. So if that person can make up their mind that, hey, they'll take ownership, even if it's not their fault, that person becomes the creator of a new healthy relationship instead of letting it continue to cascade into nothingness. What else we got?
Death and life is in the power of the tongue. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
I finally get. My aunt said a scripture. Now my phone worked. I guess that's the power. You know, that's the first. This is the first comment I got on my phone. So thank you, sister. Thank you. So very, very important. I definitely want to thank everybody for your participation. We're at 7:28. These sessions are hard and for me because, you know, you can easily go 3 hours, 2 hours on stuff like this, and half of y'all be asleep anyway. Y'all be listen to one person talk that long, but definitely appreciate you coming on. I want to tell you about the future sessions. We have the next one is just the 5 stages of a new leader. After that, we have grow or die. After that, we have the secret sauce. After that, I'm getting everybody now. The time goes so fast. Tell me about it, Miss Ann. Tell me about it. After that is communication. And then it's not the last one, but I do 5 at a time. It's to micromanage or not. That is the question. To micromanage or not. That is the question. So, we got Shay. Can we move to 45 minutes? You talking to my wife or something? You know. So anyway, we'll talk to Shay later. But anyway, definitely appreciate. I wanted to give a shout out again to, I don't know if she was on at the time, Deborah Banks, my cousin that's out of Phoenix, and my sister-in-law, Sharon Mosley. Really appreciate y'all coming on. One of the things we always say, and we're really serious about it, and I hope you take it to heart, is our little our saying at the end is be intentional, focus on growth, and elevate now. You guys have a great evening. Wait, she's telling me to stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ask everyone to share the video.
Oh, share the video. Please share the video.
Of speaking as long as we wait for them to share the video.
So it's 7:30, and we're actually still on time to end. But just if you can, please share the video. Miss Tamika, good to see you on. Please share the video. Please like. That's how we get the word out. Appreciate it, Tamika, for sharing already.
We have 5 shares. We need 5 more.
If we can get 5 more shares from anybody, if you feel like there's any value to what we're doing, I tell you, you know, we are not, and me specifically, I am not a professional speaker, but I'm a guy that works it. If I'm in a business and working with you, I can make sure you get results. So that's what I'm about, really. So there's some people that write books, but they're really better when they're doing what they're doing instead of writing about it. And I'm one of those people that I'm better at doing what I'm doing. And I can't wait to work with some of you guys. But thanks a lot. I really appreciate you guys coming on. Be intentional, focus on growth, and elevate now. Don't forget about the offerings we have on the website. We still have the book out there. And we'll talk to you later. Have a good evening. Thank you.